Hi, I'm Agatha Chen, and the public health topic that I'm going to be discussing is HIV. So, why does HIV still exist in society? Well, within 2 to 4 weeks of contracting the disease, some people may experience symptoms that is often misinterpreted as the flu. However, this disease at this stage is most contagious. Even HIV screening tests cannot accurately tell early on if an HIV infected person is actually HIV positive. This allows the HIV infected person to be able to infect others before showing more severe symptoms. HIV is a retrovirus that attacks the T4 cells of the immune system, which is responsible for fighting off foreign bodies. The disease is contracted through contact with bodily fluids of an infected person, such as their semen, blood, or breast milk. It was said to originally come from chimpanzees in the form of SIV that got mutated to the human form HIV. HIV most commonly happens in low to middle income countries such as sub-Saharan Africa. One of the future risks for the community is the economic growth of the nations hit hardest by HIV. Those who get the most impact also suffer from other infectious diseases, food insecurities, and other serious chronic problems. Another risk is that since more drugs are used to prolong the life of those with HIV, naturally, HIV prevalence will increase, which then increases the chance of those people to transmit the disease to others. The etiological factors include homosexual men of all races, intravenous drug users, babies of infected mothers, and African Americans. In the US, it affects mostly for those aged between 20 and 29 years. So for HIV, there is currently no known cure, but antiretroviral therapy can stabilize the disease for as long as possible to not progress into AIDS. For a disease with no cure, the next best strategy next to drugs is to solve the problem through prevention. The public needs to be educated on the methods of HIV transmission and thereby how to avoid them by staying away from high-risk behaviors. My cultural example is about Thailand's 100% condom program. Thailand's public health officials questioned every man who came into the hospital for STD checkups and found a commonality towards commercial sex establishments, which is then deemed as the #1 mode of transmission in Thailand. So the government mandated all commercial sex workers to wear condoms at every encounter. This not only controlled the quickly spreading HIV epidemic, it also reduced STD cases. My historical example is related to the development of new drugs throughout the years to find new ways to fight HIV. Integrase inhibitors, which were developed in 2002, prevents virus from integrating into the human genetic material, so no replication can occur. Another type of inhibitor is called fusion inhibitors, developed in 2003, interfere with HIV's ability to enter a host cell, and the virus cannot survive without a host. One prevention plan that's backed up by literature is to increase federal funding on HIV prevention programs over 5 years, then maintaining it for another 5 years. This model predicted a decrease of HIV incidence by 46%, as shown in the graph below to the left. It can also prevent over 300,000 people from getting infected over the next 10 years. Although this will increase HIV prevalence by 13%, it is still the smallest increase compared to the other scenarios in the graph below shown on the right. This increase will also save 25 times the amount that would take to invest if we maintained the same funding right now. In my opinion, although funding on prevention programs is important, more funding should also be given to researching the biomedical component of the disease. Most prevention programs are tailored to reduce incidence, but will not likely lead to total eradication of the disease, which is our ultimate goal. However, vaccines are shown to be able to eradicate diseases, such as in measles and smallpox. Therefore, more funding should be given to research to create viable vaccines that will allow us to completely eradicate the disease for good. Another good prevention strategy is to educate the public on the importance of HIV screening tests. Although we cannot detect HIV at its earliest, it is still the only way to know for sure if one is HIV positive. And these are my references. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.